Peterbot.
The most talked about player in all of 2024. He played a perfect cash cup.
It was
Back.
That's nice. Oh my god.
Let's go.
Won back-to-back-to-back FNCS majors. And broke multiple world records along the way while doing it. But there's one question that everybody is asking. Can Peterbot do it again? Before we answer the question of who can overtake Peterbot though, we do need to talk about just how dominant he was in 2024. Many of you have probably seen this incredibly in-depth hour-long video I made about Peter's journey, so you can go watch that later for more details, but I'll just be doing a brief recap of his 2024 season. Peter just finished the best year of competitive Fortnite to date, and it all started out during Majors 1 when Peter and his duo Pollo took home second place.
Peterbot and Pollo in second. Peterbot was putting on an absolute highlight reel. The broadcast was showing some of the most ridiculous shots I have ever seen out of them.
Following Major 1, everyone thought that Acorn and Cold were the team to watch out for. But Peterbot and Pollo had something to say about it. They would then go on the next week to play the first ever perfect Cash Cup with 6 out of 6 wins. Check this out.
They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon this double because they got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The
nice. Oh my god.
Let's go.
After that, the duo was confident and could win Major 2.
I'm gonna let you know right now, there's no world where I don't win this Grants. There's no world. I'm going to win this Grants, guaranteed.
And they did just that. This absolutely insane duo not only won, but also broke the point record on day 1 and day 2 of the major.
That's right, these guys have just broken the previous record for most points in a single day. The last time we saw this was OCE, Chapter 4, Major number 2 from Sons and Anon.
Pollo still hanging out way up above the clouds.
That's what's impressive about this. Peterbot is down here literally 2v1ing, fighting everyone while Pollo's like, hey man, I'll make sure I lock in the win.
One for a no-scope, okay?
Alright. Don't feed them the splashes. Don't feed them the splashes.
Dead! Oh my god! Holy shit!
They just pulled off one of the craziest wins we have ever seen in Fortnite in such a dominant fashion with such an unprecedented amount of points. These guys are the real deal.
He ended with 1,100 points.
Wow.
1,092 points.
You're him.
Yo.
You're him.
Go,
You're
bro.
brother.
Go.
Good shit, bro.
For some people, one major win would be the highlight of their career. I mean, one of my last videos about Clicks is how he hasn't even won an FNCS yet, and he's been playing since the World Cup. But Peterbot wasn't happy with just one win. He wanted the back-to-back. And although Peter had been destroying everyone this year, people were skeptical that he would be able to win 2 FNCS majors in a row. But Peter is all about proving people wrong.
It is confirmed. Peterbot and Pollo have done it. The back-to-back has happened. Peterbot and Pollo, congratulations once again. The Axe of Champions will not leave their possession, and they're taking that. They're gonna take that to the Global Championships in September as a big flex piece. Like, hey, we're the ones that want to take it all home.
Peter, with his duo Pollo, won the elusive back-to-back FNCS championships. This was absolutely insane and hadn't been done since Booga and Miro did it all the way back in Chapter 2. And while this was impressive, Peterbot's season was far from over. He still had to play in the 2024 Global Championships in Fort Worth, Texas. Once again, people didn't think that he would win another major tournament in a row, especially because this tournament had brand new competitors from all over the world. This wasn't just a regional FNCS, this was globals. But Peterbot was still very confident.
You must feel amazing going into this as well. I mean, you guys, eliminations, you guys are strong going into this. How do you feel?
Feel good, and I'm confident, and I think we're gonna win.
And this confidence was not for nothing, because he went on to yet again win.
Would you please give it everything you've got for the FNCS Global champions 2024, Peterbot WON'T
However, shortly after the Global Championships ended, Epic Games would announce their plans for the next season.
I can't even believe it. We just wrapped up 2024. Just an amazing year of Fortnite. I was kind of curious though, what's the plan for 2025? Oh, $8 million in prize pool. That's actually really awesome. The players are gonna be really excited to hear that. Wait, I'm sorry, step back. Did you say trios? We're going back to trios? Yeah. Did you say Siphon?
You heard that right. Trios is making its big return for the first time since 2021. It's been over 3 years since we've had a competitive version of Trios, and that means that every pro player has to now change their strategy completely. The 2025 majors probably won't start until February, which means that players have 3 or 4 months to figure out what they're going to do as far as a trio, but with all of these big changes, it makes you wonder, will Peterbot's success continue onto the next season, or was it just one stroke of luck? And if Peterbot is going to fall from grace, who will take his spot at the top of competitive Fortnite? While I do think that Peterbot's success is almost purely based on his skill, I don't think he would be nearly as successful if he hadn't had a few factors play in last year. I have 3 reasons to why I personally believe Peterbot will not be able to replicate his success again. First is Peterbot deciding to drop Poyo. Peterbot and Poyo teamed up in late 2023 after Peter reached out to Poyo asking to duo.
So you were a fan of Peter. Did he reach out to you to play, or did you reach out to him?
I reached out to him.
Really?
Okay, so he was, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. He carried his teammate Sphinx last year. I just knew how good he was because we were coached by the same coach. I would watch him every tournament I could. I just knew that like we were gonna be the best duo.
I mean, the same thing happened with Booga, but we actually never ended up playing, so.
Since joining up, these two have been absolutely unstoppable. As you guys just saw in the previous section where I was breaking down Peter's success, Poyo was there every single step of the way, which is why everybody was shocked when Peterbot told the world he would be dropping Poyo and looking for a different trio.
Me and Poyo are split up for trios, chat.
I mean, this literally shocked everybody. Fortnite has never had a more consistent duo ever, and Peterbot is throwing all of that out the window barely a month after the globals they just won. I mean, I've seen some people say that Peterbot carries Poyo, and maybe that's why Peter is dropping him, but I don't think that could be further from reality. You see, Poyo balances out Peter very well. As a duo, Poyo is like the brains of the operation, and even Peter would admit that himself.
Feels a little better for me because Peter's been known for a while, but this year I came up, I guess. He's definitely better at getting eliminations, but I think I'm smarter than him, and he'll probably tell you that as well.
But if you don't believe me or Peterbot's opinion, just look at Peter's placements before meeting Poyo. Don't get me wrong, Peter was incredibly successful to a level that me or most of you watching will ever reach. However, somebody that's as aggressive and fighting oriented as Peter needs somebody who's a lot more calm and passive like Poyo to balance him out. And with trios being the new game mode, passive play will be rewarded heavily, as fighting isn't rewarded as much in a trios meta, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Because first, I want to talk about some of these other trios that are popping up that will be contesting Peterbot. Because after all, Peterbot isn't the only one looking for a new trio. See, everyone is putting together new and improved teams because with switching from duos to trios, nothing is positive and plenty of people are going to be getting snaked. While we won't know who's truly going to be trioing together until later in the year or early next year, we do have some great ideas of who might end up together. Just based on how people have been doing in various cash cups, we can say that there's a couple super teams. For example, Peterbot's ex-duo Poyo has teamed with the up-and-coming duo of Bolts and Rapid. And the duo Bolts and Rapid have been getting top 5s the entire year in cash cups, along along with a couple of wins and a trio 4th place with Pollo. Also, just so you guys know, I'll be releasing a video in just a few days about Bolts, and I actually got to interview him and ask him about his childhood and all of his recent success, so you guys won't want to miss out on that, and just hit the subscribe button with notifications so you don't miss it. Anyways, on top of that trio, we need to also talk about Agers, Ritual, and Acorn. As many of you know, Acorn, who's Cold's old duo, is one of the best players and fighters in the world, and they recently just got 2nd place in the trio's Cash Cup. Agers as well as Ritual are also some of the best players in the entire world, and this trio is looking deadly. On top of that, there is another big piece of news that many of you may not have heard about yet. There has been some rumors, and I cannot confirm this, that Clix might be bringing Venno back to North America for next season, and that would be absolutely insane. Clix is already planning to play with Rise, who is one of the best players in the world, and if you add Venno on top of that, this could be one of the most dynamic trios we've seen in a very long time. And on top of all of those trios, we have to realize this is Fortnite. There's always a risk or possibility of a new player coming up and absolutely destroying the competition. And not to mention, there are plenty of cheaters in the game right now who could be affecting tournaments even more because it's already become a huge problem this season. And I'm going to be doing a whole video about cheaters, so make sure you guys watch out for that as well. Peter is teaming up with perhaps the only fighter in the entire world that's just as good, if not better than him, and that is Cold. Coming 1st place and beating Peterbot in Major 1 of last year, Cold is definitely a force to be reckoned with. And their trio is none other than the World Cup champion himself, Booga. So if you ask me, Peter, Cold, and Booga could absolutely take home as many FNCS as they want, because this is one of the best trios we've ever seen, at least at first glance. You see, duos is a very different format than trios. Trios rewards team play and sticking together, and having all 3 of your team members still alive in endgame, as opposed to the duos meta, which can reward solo clutching. And speaking of the difference in format, Peterbot's playstyle might not exactly adapt well to this change. See, over the years during the duo meta, he's become known for solo clutching and being a very aggressive player.
They are decimating the lobby.
It's a 1 versus 2 scenario, but Peterbot is just making it happen. Thomas HD and Queasy sitting at 8 eliminations already, though. But Peterbot gets another. Ritual isolated, no re in sight because he's been taken out earlier on, and Peterbot continuing to tarp his way through the low ground. There's a possibility, MDF, these two might actually just clash head on.
We have a 2v2 and then all solos in between. One of those solos is, of course, Peterbot. Rapid is gonna fall as well, and he just does not stop claiming eliminations at this point. Booga on the backside of zone. Don't come out, son. It's not gonna go well if you step into Peter's domain. Meanwhile, Thomas HD, Queasy are setting up the victory royale.
Thomas HD, Queasy, they know. It's Peterbot and Booga.
Oh my God.
But Peterbot gets a huge chunk out of Queasy. Thomas is gonna fall. One more shot could do it. Peterbot with the refresh, continuing to break through on the low ground. He's making the impossible happen.
Queasy versus Booga up top. Takes him down. Queasy versus Peterbot now. How badly do you want it? Queasy is looking for the tag. Both shots can easily go any way. Peter finds the first one. Can he get the second? He is incredible.
The second time today, Peterbot knew it was exclusively down to him, and left to his own devices, he delivers.
You just cannot make this up. He is too good.
And look, this has clearly worked out well for Peter during duos, and I'm not trying to say that he isn't a team player. However, this specific playstyle won't be rewarded in trios. See, trios is all about working together as a team and making important decisions to protect the group. The 3 players have to work together like a machine and be all together up in endgame, because a 3v2 or a 3v1 is almost impossible to win. And just looking at Peterbot's placements during his time playing trios back in 2021, he wasn't doing nearly as well as he's doing now. Now, to be fair, this was a very long time ago, and Peter was 14 years old during trios. He's improved a ton as a player and as a fighter, but he didn't win his first FNCS or have any major success until it switched over to duos. And like I said, it's evident that Peter has grown as a player since this time, but if we're just looking purely at his history as a player, it shows that Peter might have a hard time adapting to trios.
How did you feel after winning your first Grands with Byla?
Felt great. It was like the best feeling in the world. I mean, you just won. Honestly, it's not really a money thing, it's just winning. When you're winning, you can't be mad at anything. And honestly, the win was really unexpected, so it meant more to, me, just because I don't think people had me in their top 20, but I still won. A lot of things went my way though, I'm not gonna lie. Every winner needs a little bit of luck, bro. Like whether you say they don't or not, everyone needs a little bit of luck in their FNCS. It's just how it works.
And speaking of adapting, it's time we talk about the third and final reason why I don't think Peter will repeat his success, and that is the changing in POIs. Peterbot and Pollo were incredibly smart in Chapter 5. They took advantage of all the overpowered POIs that popped up on the map during the season. One of the new changes in Chapter 5 was the addition of these boss medallions. Each boss dropped a coin or medallion that gave a unique ability to whoever was holding the item. Peterbot and Pollo won their first FNCS together during Chapter 5 Season 2, and during this season they landed at Grim Gate. Grim Gate had the boss Cerberus, who dropped probably the two most overpowered items in the game, the Dash Medallion and the Gatekeeper Shotgun. The Dash Medallion gave you an ability to regen dashes every 10 seconds, and that was absolutely crazy. It was overpowered for rotations, W keying, and getting away from bad situations. On top of that, the Cerberus Shotgun was completely lethal. It did massive damage in just a couple of seconds and made two-tacking other players really easy. Having this gun could be the difference between life or death, as it's the weapon that gives you the best chance to bail out of a bad situation. During the next season, Chapter 5 Season 3, Peterbot and Pollo dropped on Redline Rig. This location spawned with the Machinist, and if you got her medallion, she would regenerate the shield of the person holding the coin. And on top of that, she also dropped a mythic combat assault rifle that could do insane damage from close and long range. While this drop certainly wasn't as overpowered as the Cerberus location from the coin and gun perspective, it also provided a ton of tactical advantages for rotation. Redline Rig had some massive nitro circles where you could just dash into center zone from basically anywhere. On top of that, during Global Finals, we saw Peterbot and Pollo drop at the Raft.
The Raft is looking busy. There's a lot of duos going into the same spot. Is that a good thing for you guys in terms of surge and things? Are you kind of eager to have that happen and prove right off the bounce that you guys are ready to contend for that title?
Yeah, I mean, the 14s won't really be an issue for us because, I think we are going to be chilling on our side of Raft and get the Mythic Hog every game. And we'll be seeing clicks at forecast.
During the making of this video, the Raft still is in the game, and Emma Frost still is the boss at this location where she dropped the Reveal Medallion. This medallion reveals the location of everybody around you every 50 seconds. And I have to say, I thought that the Dash Medallion was overpowered. However, this might be single-handedly the most broken item in the history of Fortnite. This gives the players a huge advantage during late game when materials were low. It also let them know when there was a solo that they could jump in on. Plus, she also dropped the Striker Burst AR, which is another incredibly overpowered item that makes getting Surge super easy. So overall, Peter was really taking advantage of all the new changes that each season brought. Now, to be fair, I think the reason that Peterbot was able to access all of these things is because people feared him. See, having such good mechanical skills and talent meant that nobody wanted to contest Peterbot and Pollo. So you can't completely say that they were gifted these POIs and overpowered items because they did in fact have to prove that they deserved to land there. However, they did still get a huge advantage from them, and we don't know what Chapter 6 will hold. Will there be new POIs? Probably, and will we have medallions? I don't know, but we won't really know about that until Chapter 6 comes out later this year. Overall, I think Epic Games has really nerfed Peterbot. I mean, from taking away duos, which is his preferred format, and also removing his POIs, which isn't really their fault, and also adding Siphon back, which will make it a lot more difficult for Peter to jump on weak players. Listen, don't get me wrong, Peterbot is a generational talent, and he has been a player to watch for some time now, and I think he will continue to dominate Fortnite for as long as he decides to play it. But that being said, I just don't see a world where Peter could have 2024 all over again. Well, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below on whether or not we're going to see Peterbot recreate the success. I'm super excited to see him play, as well as some of these other young up-and-coming players. So comment down below who else you'd like to see me make a video or documentary about, because I'm always looking for new ideas. And if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe and click this video right here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!